back to Psycho Juicebox.
Hi, this is B-Views.
I'm Mike.
I'm John.
Are you ready for this, Johnny?
Oh yeah,
Another movie on the J-Edge.
The first J-Edge movie.
First J-Edge movie.
The first time we
How much is it, Johnny?
It's $3.99 a month.
And it's worth every damn dime.
And we're making it worth it.
Oh, it is. Especially for this movie. This trilogy.
Trilogy, yeah. We're only going to talk about the first one, though.
Yeah. Yeah.
It is, today we're talking about FM 89.3 megahertz.
Megahertz,
But
yeah.
online, it is referred to as FM 89.3.
Yep.
FM 89.3.
Insert some cute jingle in there.
Oh, that's the one from there. But they use like a couple different ones.
They do. They do. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So.
Yeah.
Mike, do you want to start us off?
Yeah. So we get this guy named Gingy, and he is just getting out of prison.
After 15 years.
After 15 years, and he's being taken out by his associate by the name of Taro.
Taro Suzuki.
Taro Suzuki.
He gets sent to
pick him up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Junji is played by
I can't think of his name.
Hiroshi Ozawa.
Yes. Yep. That's it.
I want to say.
Yep.
And this is probably going to be uploaded the day after his birthday.
Yeah.
It'll be his 58th birthday.
Yeah.
So happy
Yeah.
late birthday.
Yeah. Happy birthday.
To, a Japanese actor who'll never watch this.
Yes, that we had to find, that we had to dig on Google for. So.
Hey, I immediately recognized him though.
Yeah, you did. You did. I had no idea.
Because he was in Dead or Alive, the crazy Takashi Miike Yakuza movie.
Yeah.
Oh, one of his 800 crazy Yakuza movies.
Yeah.
But he's in prison for 15 years for avenging the boss's son. I think they say.
Yeah. Yeah. So he's supposedly trying to be picked up by his associate, Taro.
They send Taro Suzuki,
Yeah.
his associate, who's apparently a Yakuza, supposedly.
How the hell could this guy be in the Yakuza? As a joke.
He's constantly crying.
Oh, he's terrible.
Scared of everyone.
He is, and he has no license, so they had to walk on the highway. They had to basically, like, hitchhike.
We should say that this movie is actually a comedy film. It's
Comedy/action.
It's after rewatching it, I'd say it's probably not as much action.
Kind of.
I think I was thinking of Yakuza Principle 2.
Yeah.
It has a lot more action with a bunch of people get the crap kicked out of them.
Yeah. Yeah.
For a movie that seems like a kid's movie.
Sure.
Anyway, we'll talk about those.
Yes. Oh, yeah, absolutely. Stick around.
Because this movie doesn't seem like a kid's movie.
No. It's more of an adult theme.
And so they walk on the highway, and don't they end up taking a bus?
Something like that.
Yeah, I think they end up finding a bus stop and taking a bus. And they go to the boss's headquarters.
Yep.
And he's just like, since when are Yakuza picked up from jail by a bus?
Yeah.
And
Yeah, because of Taro.
And they all turn around, and all of the Yakuza guys beat the ever-living shit out of Taro.
As they should! The guy is fucking useless!
It's terrible because I feel like Taro's a punching bag.
He should be.
But at the same time, he's very annoying.
He is. He's terribly annoying. He's a terrible character.
He's very much like I think it's supposed to be like a comic relief.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
He functions better as a comic relief later in the movie, but at the beginning, when it seems a lot more serious.
Yeah.
Like the joke is that he's sent to pick him up. He doesn't have a license, and they have to take the bus. Then we have a scene where one of them's yelling "fuck" at them, and then they're kicking the shit out of a guy who can't defend himself.
Yeah. don't feel bad about it at all. You really don't.
No, that's because it's a comedy film.
Yeah.
It's very strange though.
Yeah,
it's a strange beginning, I think, for a comedy.
Yeah. So he goes to the boss's place, the Yakuza boss's place.
Yep.
And the Yakuza boss basically tells Junji that he has to go and manage.
Well, yeah, he's like, well, we have this guy and he couldn't pay his debt, and so instead of giving us money, he gave us this like a mini FM station building that he owns, right?
Yep.
Which is how all three of the all Yakuza Principle 2 is just that's just Yakuza Principle cut off.
Yeah. It
should have just been part of that movie.
It should have. Yeah.
Anyway, let's not talk about that.
Right. At a later time.
Jeez.
It's alright.
Yeah. That's what happened.
Yeah.
And then the boss tells Junji, well, it's your job to take care of this radio station.
Right. And then so he is talking over. Does he go immediately to the station and meet the chick who's there?
Something like that. I mean, he continually says like this stuff where he's just like, running a radio station isn't the job of a Yakuza. Mm-hmm. And the boss is like, well, you do the jobs that I tell you to. And he goes and he meets...
Oh, what's her name?
I want to say Yakutan.
Let's go with that.
Yucatan.
Yes, Yucatan. Yes, like the Yucatan Desert.
Nope, it's Yucatan.
Oh, damn it.
I think her name is actually Yuka, but the subtitles on J-Edge decided to combine the name and the honorific.
Okay.
Tana's an honorific.
Oh, okay. Alright, go ahead with that.
But I could be wrong. It just makes more sense that she would refer to herself as Yucatan.
Okay.
When she's being the cutesy radio host.
Sure.
Speaking nonsense words into the thing.
Yep.
And it seems like she only plays her music.
Yeah, she does.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then she just talks.
Yeah.
She plays her music and then just talks.
I'm sure it's fine.
Yeah. It's a great listen.
But, he goes and meets Yucatan.
Yep. And she basically brushes him off, saying, get the hell out of here.
Yeah.
Because she doesn't really want to pay the debt.
She's like, we have no money for you, so you can get out of here.
Right.
And he's just like,
okay, bye. I didn't want to be here in the first place.
Yeah. Junji and Taro end up leaving.
Yep.
And Junji goes to the boss. And he says, look, I can't do this.
Yep.
And the boss says, I didn't know that you stopped being a man.
Yeah, pretty much. Pretty much.
He says, what was that thing he says? He said something like, the boss says something.
Oh, I don't know.
Oh, I think he says, like, when you're a man, you if you can't do something, then you keep trying to do it until you do it, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's so many words, yeah.
Yeah. And Junji's just like, alright, I guess I'll do this thing. And Junji, like, this movie takes place in this was made in 2007.
Yeah.
So, Junji's been in prison for 15 years, so he's been in prison since the 90s.
Yeah.
Since like 92.
Yeah.
And there's literally a scene where he's just like, I don't understand cell phones.
Yeah, well, of course not. Yeah, because there really wasn't
It's
any.
like, everyone has cell phones, and I don't understand it.
Yeah.
I don't understand most of the things that are happening in the world right now.
Well, of course.
It's literally just a lost person.
Yeah, oh, yeah.
Really.
Yeah, especially with that kind of technology. I mean, you barely even had a car phone back then.
I know.
So then that's kind of a kick in his ass.
Yeah.
And then he goes back to the station and, he kind of gives the spiel to Yucatan.
Mm-hmm.
And that kind of starts our
hero's journey.
Yes.
Begins.
Yes. Yes. As a radio disc jockey.
It's actually a very neat movie.
It is.
It's a very nice redemption, I guess, story. Isn't
Yeah.
it?
Yeah. Compared to the other trash that we've watched on Village.
Oh, Sadako versus Hikiko.
Yeah. Yeah. That was very boring.
Very strange.
Yeah. Just not a good movie. We're not going to do a review of that.
If we do the Ringu movies, we have to do that movie.
Oh. Well,
It's not canon. I don't think.
I don't know.
Are any of the movies canon, really?
Maybe.
So.
So he goes back to, and he kind of starts his, with the business with the, with Yucatan.
Yeah.
And then so.
Yucatan has another job.
Yeah.
I want to say.
She's like a salesman
sells flowers out of the back of a van.
She sells fish.
But then she sells fish.
Yeah.
But the van has a bunch of flowers on it.
Yes. Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
So I thought it was a flower.
I
thought it was a flower seller, but then she was asking people if they wanted meat or fish.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it could be anything.
Who knows?
It's everything.
We never learn it.
It's a wandering pawn shop.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, we never learn.
But her van breaks down, and she can't make it to the radio station.
Yeah.
And everyone loses their minds.
Yeah. This is when we get a good old Junji yell. Especially when he throws Taro. Get out of the way!
Ozawa is just so good at playing Yakuza.
Yes, he's a very angry man. And he has a very awesome yell.
Yeah. He just sounds so angry.
It's too bad with that we can't let you hear that yell because that is an awesome yell.
Well, yeah.
So we'll
I'll
someday.
see if I can do it, but I don't think I can.
Alright, that's fine. That's alright.
It's I don't know how to do any editing.
It's alright.
That explains so much about this show that nobody watches. Worst produced show on the internet.
Yes, exactly. Absolutely. Okay, so back to the Yucatan breaking down.
Oh yeah.
She's obviously having car troubles.
Yep.
And
she's on the phone.
Yeah.
And she's just like, look, or wait, before this, they decide they're going to do it, and they're going to do it right, and they need money, because the station is broke.
Yeah. Yeah.
Now we have to go back.
Oh, that's okay. We do that all the
because
time.
this part's great.
Yeah.
This is one of my favorite jokes in the whole thing, because it reminds you of, Bad News Bears and shit.
Yeah. Is that when they're sitting around?
It's when they're like, we have no money, and he's like,
oh,
well, how do we get money? She's like, well, you got to get sponsors.
Yeah.
It's the same thing as Bad News Bears, where they're like, well, we need a sponsor. What do? We get the strip club. So what does Junji do? He goes to his Yakuza pals, and he's like, hey guys, what businesses do you have? And the one guy's like, well, I have a massage parlor that's a front for a brothel.
Yeah.
And the other guy's like, well, I have a porn store where I sell illegal pornos.
Yeah.
And the other one's like, what's another one has another thing that it's a weird mini casino. Yeah.
Yep, that's it.
With a 500,000 yen minimum.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, so
and
it's a high stakes.
Members only.
Yeah. High stakes casino.
Yep.
Yeah.
So then when she breaks down, he's like, well, we'll just do the show later. We'll just do the show late when you get here. And she's like, you can't do that. because the show is scheduled for 6 o'clock,
Yep.
and you have to start the show at 6 o'clock. And with tiny FM stations like this,
Yep.
if you don't start listening on time or start playing on time, then you lose listeners,
Yep.
and that's how that works. So he's like, well, I'll just play music until you get here, and she's like, that's half-assed.
Yeah. And then you see a good interaction with him and Taro. As Taro tries to turn on stuff, and he just shoves them on him.
Well, because they're all like, she's walking them through turning everything on, and he's like, turn the soundboard on. He's like, what's the soundboard? And he's like, it's the thing. And he's like, where's the switch? It's like, behind it. And everyone's scrambling to get all the equipment to work properly.
Yep.
And they end up turning the on-air thing, and then he's beating the shit out of Taro on the air.
Yep. Taro wants to start talking, then he just pushes him over in the chair.
Well, I think he was like trying to figure stuff out,
Yeah.
and then he just started freaking out and like yelling or something.
Yeah.
And then he just pushed him out of the way, and
Taro's
got him
out of the way.
on the floor for the rest of the scene.
Yeah. It's good stuff. And this is when he actually starts talking. And so we get our first glimpse of Junji as a radio disc jockey.
Yep.
And here comes his career.
Nozawa has such a great voice.
He does. He has a very good radio voice.
Yeah.
I mean, he's almost as good as Stern, but
I love how he always starts his show when he's actually talking on his talk radio.
Yeah.
He's just like, guys, I know this is gonna be boring.
Yeah.
But bear with me.
But he just talks.
And then he starts whatever he says. It's the thing that we should start all of our episodes with. Guys, I know this is gonna be boring, but bear with us. Think of it as a lullaby.
Yeah. There we go. Sure. That's why we're the worst produced show on the internet. Because we have so much hype for ourselves.
Yep.
Just bear with us. Thanks for tuning in.
Just stick around.
Please,
for the love of God.
Thanks for getting our view count up.
Thanks for the 8 views, guys.
Thanks, family and friends. Do appreciate it. If you would please comment and spread it, that'd be great.
Yeah, tell everyone about our mascot, Marcus.
Yeah, Mark.
Yeah.
Yep, Marcus.
Marcus.
It was Ian last time, wasn't it?
No.
Oh,
It's
okay.
always been Marcus.
Oh, okay, sure. Oh.
So anyway,
Yeah.
At first he reads off all of the sponsors, and I love the one guy, the porn store, because he's just like
Isn't it like vanilla? Doesn't he say like
he
vanilla porn?
advertises it. He advertises they have over 20,000 vanilla hardcore porno titles, and then he just stops for a second and he goes, do they only have uncensored?
And then they show a video clip of the guy going in there and showing all of his shit.
Yeah, it's just like
it's nothing but fucking magazines.
It's CD cases.
Oh, is it?
Filled
I thought I saw a whole bunch of like
pictures.
Hustler magazines.
I didn't think they were magazines. I thought it was like it looked like CD cases, but instead it just had a bunch of like little pictures printed out.
Okay, yeah, that could be.
And then
because that's quality, right?
Because
there.
each time he talks about one of their businesses, it cuts to them, and
Yeah.
they're all listening to
Yeah.
him on the radio, and they're all like smiling and laughing at him.
Yeah.
Because it's like, oh, good old Junji
Yeah,
on the radio for some reason.
Yeah, he's doing good.
Yeah.
He's really popular, and well, going kind of backtracking, when he first started, he started telling stories.
Well, yeah.
And he obviously didn't want to be on the radio.
He was just like, all right, that's it, and like he does the sponsorships, and he just turns on like Auld Lang Syne or whatever it's called.
Yeah, the New Year's song.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they're just like, what is he playing? and And she calls him up. Yucatan is listening, and she calls him up and is just like, What's that CD? Turn that off!
It's not New Year's.
And he's like, you have to talk to the people. And he's like, I don't have anything to say. And she's like, just say anything, like your views on life or what you did today or whatever. And
how's the weather?
He just says something like, never give up because you can always do what you do if you just try. Yeah. You can always do anything you want if you just try.
Yeah.
And then it just, that's it.
Yeah.
And everyone's like, oh, he did the show. That's wonderful.
Yeah.
It's a very low budget seeming movie.
Yeah, I mean, there's really no money.
I'm not sure if it's low budget or if it's just like Japanese or I could. This is a J-Edge movie and there's no information on it.
No, you have to dig and do research to find this.
We found one page about it. I found one page about it, but I had to go to Hitoshi Ozawa's Asian wiki page.
Yeah, it's not even on Wikipedia.
And
so
then
it's an Asian wiki page.
He didn't even have a Wikipedia,
which
I thought was weird.
No.
Because, like, he's been in a ton of movies.
Yeah, he's been in at least, 50 movies?
Something like that.
Yeah.
He's been in a few movies.
Yeah.
And, I had to go down and then find the link under his filmography.
Yeah.
And then click on that. So I have a feeling this is going to be another one of those ones where you look up the name of the movie and they're the only thing that pops up.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
It's hard. And that's so obvious. So after the story that he told on his first day, what's her face, Yucatan, he comes back in the studio the next day and she has a whole bunch of print-offs of what people thought of the stories.
Yeah.
And
it's fan letters.
Yeah, fan letters, and he doesn't want any part of it. He's like,
all right, guys, it's time to start the show. I'm out. And she's like, wait, you should talk again. And he's like, I'm not doing that. I'm a yakuza. That's not what I got into being a yakuza for.
Yep.
And he's like, besides, nobody wants to listen to me anyway. And she's like, no. Look at these fan letters, and she just goes, knocks all the fan letters out of her hands, and he's just like, I'm out of here.
Yeah. And he only wishes that was Tara's face. Smacking that shit out.
Tara's like standing right there next to him.
Yeah.
Wait, does she talk him into staying for that one?
That's when he goes to the boss.
I thought he goes to the bosses. I thought that's the second time.
Maybe that's the second time he goes to the boss. Because he gets the kick in the ass.
The boss is kind of funny.
Yeah, he's not bad.
He's so weird.
I mean, he has a small ass role, but if he had a bigger role,
high school girl in there.
Yeah, it's
really weird. There's like a high school girl, and like at one point she's just like sitting in a kiddie pool with a water gun, shooting Gingy in the face.
Yeah.
And
yeah, it's just kind of awkward.
Yeah. At one point she's just sitting there. At one point she looks at Gingy and she's just like, "You are not a man."
yeah. It's like, oh, thanks. Because my self-esteem is so high from getting out of prison for 15 years.
Oh, well, we never mentioned before that. Junji has a wife and a daughter.
Oh, yes.
He has what he does after he goes and finds out that after he goes to the station that first time. Yeah, that's right. Afterwards. He goes to Junji's pub.
Yeah.
The Junji pub or whatever.
Yep.
And it turns out he has a wife.
He has a wife.
Who hasn't seen him in 15 years.
Yeah. We didn't even bother to see him in prison.
Well, I mean, we don't know that, but it seems like they haven't seen each
other. No, it doesn't seem like it at all.
She's just like, welcome back, and pours him a drink.
Yeah,
and
it's very businesslike.
And
here's your money.
His daughter's 17.
Yeah.
So
Sakura.
Yeah. And her nickname is Cherry.
Cherry.
Yep. And her boyfriend, Nabushi.
Yes.
Sure.
Let's go with it. Close enough. You won't be able to find it on Wikipedia, don't worry.
He's not out there.
It doesn't exist on IMDb either.
No, I found it on IMDb.
Did you really?
But all the actors are wrong.
Oh, so it doesn't exist. So it really isn't on IMDb.
It's the name of the movie is there. It's listed as a FM 89.3.
Yeah.
Parentheses 2007 because it has to distinguish itself from the other ones.
Sure, whatever.
It's got all the wrong actors as far as I can tell.
Well, what the hell?
And it's got a description that matches the movie properly.
What did it have on IMDb?
It had nothing because it said coming soon. But I was able to
come on! The movie's 13 years old!
I was able to add it to my watch list.
What'd you give it?
I wasn't able to rate it.
Oh, shit! Oh, this movie doesn't exist outside of the bounds of JH and Asian Wiki. Shit.
Man, we need to start doing movies that people have heard of.
I know, shit. Damn it.
Well, that's why I want to do this one, because people should hear about this.
It is.
It's so good.
It's enjoyable.
It's a very enjoyable movie.
Because we originally watched Yakuza Principle, saying,
Yeah.
let's try it out.
We found a movie called Yakuza Principle, and we were like, oh, this sounds weird.
Yeah, it
Japanese.
sounded cheap.
A
it
Japanese
sounded funny.
kindergarten cop.
Yeah, I mean, it's come
A
on.
kids movie with a Yakuza as a principal.
Right, I mean, it's like Arnold, who's a Yakuza member.
And then we watch it, and there's like a woman with her tits out.
Yeah, it's like this is a fucking kids movie with
like,
titties.
we thought this was a kids movie, and
they're doing drugs and
he's yelling, "Go fuck yourself" and stuff at people.
Didn't he say that at a kid?
No, I don't think he ever used profanity at a kid. But like, there's a bunch of stuff about Yakuza and like how there's a gang war coming up.
Yeah.
We'll talk about that movie another day.
But
but basically we were like, hey, that looks cool, and then like I read the description for this movie, and it was like, oh, that's the same character.
Yep.
Oh, and like at one point in the movie in Yakuza Principle, one of them comes up and they're like, hey, you're Junji from 89.3 FM.
Right.
And he's like,
and of course, JH had it.
Yeah. And I was just like, oh, that's weird. And then like I was just like, wait a minute, I saw the thumbnail for that movie and I read it, and it's about a Yakuza guy that takes over a radio station, and that seems strangely similar to this movie.
Yeah, and sure as shit
this is the first movie in that trilogy.
Yep. and that's that.
Yep. And that's how we found this movie.
Yeah.
Anyway,
next. Yeah, so just as like PSC, we're all around the map.
Yeah,
it's okay. It's okay.
Anyone who's come this far they know that we don't know what we're doing.
No, we're the worst show on the internet. It's okay. We don't even know the names. It's okay.
We don't even know the names of all the characters. That's okay, because I like that guy. That's what I like about Junji and his future son-in-law, is that like his future son-in-law is nothing but a fuck up. He's a 28-year-old DJ.
Yep.
Who doesn't make any money.
No. Who performs to nobody.
And Junji is kind of just like.
Yeah, he's just going
like,
with the flow.
I've been gone for 15 years. I have no right to say that you shouldn't date my daughter, even though she's 17 and you're 28.
Yeah. Only 11 years of a difference.
It's not like she's a minor or anything. Yeah. Although I don't know what the laws in Japan are. So I don't know.
I don't know either.
So maybe it's legal there.
It could be. It's strange. It's quite strange.
It's a little strange. Mm-hmm. I mean, he's a DJ, so he's probably mentally on the same
level.
Oh,
sure.
So
I would imagine.
I'm not saying DJs are stupid.
No.
But, I mean, this guy is...
Yeah.
He's like your stereotypical comedy DJ, where he's just like, hey, man, I'm basically homeless, and everyone else supports me, and I'm a DJ.
Yeah. I'm a loser.
I'm fulfilling my dream.
Yeah.
I wear stupid clothes.
That's gonna get me nowhere.
Yeah. There's literally a scene. He's just like, I think I failed at my dream, and it just like flashes back to the show that he was doing, and he's just doing all this DJ stuff, and no one's there.
Nobody.
He's just performing for nobody.
Nobody. Give up on that dream, dude.
But the actor's pretty good at that
he is
role,
not
and
bad.
I like him.
No, I like him too.
And I love the dynamic he has with Junji, because he looks up to him so much.
He does.
Yeah.
And he even said he wanted to join him.
Yeah, well, he didn't say he wants to join the Yakuza, but there was a point where he was like, I didn't take responsibility for my actions, punch me in the face.
Yeah.
And he's like, the only way that I can be redeemed is if you punch me in the face.
Yeah.
And Junji just says, like, I can't,
Right.
don't have anything to say. And I think what he says is something like if anything happens to you guys, then I'll have to take out whoever did it, or something like that.
Yeah, so obviously he's considered him a member of the family.
Yeah. Wow, that's way off in the
that's in the future.
Yeah.
It's alright.
Where were we?
So we were talking about once he got the sponsors.
Oh.
Yeah, and so, once he got that kick in the ass from the boss again.
Oh, yeah.
For the second time.
And that's when she sprays him in the face with the water gun and
Yes.
says, you were once a man.
Yeah. It's like, thanks. Thanks, high school chick. Thanks.
She doesn't even get a name.
No, she doesn't even have a name. So, now, Junji, he's got a fire up his ass now. He's
like,
he's motivated.
This is what I'm doing.
Yep.
And the whole time, his old Yakuza buddy,
Kari?
Something.
Oh, let's go with that.
It's whatever.
Close enough.
It's Yakuza buddy.
Yep.
And
Yakuza brother.
Yeah, he refers to him as brother because they're like, they're equals in the Yakuza.
Yeah.
So he there's one point where he's talking to him, and he's just like kind of reminiscing about things.
Right, and they're trying.
Everyone's doing cell phones, and I don't understand it, and I don't know how to use cell phones properly, and I don't understand it. Yep. All of the slang and style and everything has changed.
Right.
The way men in the Yakuza is different now.
Right.
I think he says something about it being less honorable, or people having less honor, or something like that.
Right.
All of these young people just want to beat the shit out of everyone and not actually do the job properly.
Right.
Stuff like that.
Right.
And the guy, at one point they're talking, and they end up kind of getting in a little bit of a fight.
Yeah. I mean, they just really kind of don't see eye to eye because,
he's
so technologically impaired.
Well, it's not only that, he's socially impaired.
Oh yeah. I mean, he's kind of fallen off the chain in terms of the Yakuza too.
It's almost like coming out, if you went away for 15 years, you came back and you're in a completely different culture than you were.
Right. Right. And then his Yakuza brother just basically says, "I'm busy. I gotta go."
He says, "Well, I've got work to do. If you want to reminisce, do it on your radio show."
Yeah. It's like, thanks, dude. Thanks a lot.
I think he says something like, "Junji, you're behind the times. That's why you're stuck there," or something like that.
Well, how can you blame the guy? He hasn't taught how to use a damn phone.
Yeah.
I mean, shit.
And that's when I think we see him do his first real show.
Oh yeah, that's when he kind of gets the confidence to.
He's like, all right, well,
tell his stories.
This is where I am in life, and this is what I'm going to be saying. And he says I just got out of prison in 15 years, and I don't know anything that's going on.
Yeah.
Everything is it's so different.
Right. Right. and I can't imagine how different it was.
And he just says a lot of his stuff, and people are like, man, everyone loves listening
Oh
to
yeah,
him
he
because
becomes big.
he's got such a unique perspective because
Right.
he's like he's been in prison for 15 years.
Yeah.
And he's talking about stuff that like other Yakuza have experienced
Right.
and just don't have.
Right.
Another thing that was interesting that his brother was telling him, or his brother was telling him, was I think it was in that scene when he said I envied you when you went to prison for the boss, but now I see that I was able to thrive while you were gone. It was basically like, yeah, you went away and I reaped all the rewards.
Yeah, of course. yeah, thanks, brother. Thanks a lot.
And it turns out that brother, or that Yakuza.
Yeah, that brother.
He is dealing drugs.
Yep. He's selling drugs to...
Tons of drugs.
Yep.
To all sorts of people.
Yep.
Like, he provides, I think they said, all of the drugs in Shinjuku.
Yep.
And that's a big no-no because their family doesn't allow drugs.
Right.
They do prostitution, they do all sorts of stuff, they do not do drugs.
Yeah.
Well, it's a big deal when you have a line.
Right.
Because, I mean, it could probably be a big deal in that situation because, like, another family is the drug dealing family.
Right.
And, like, you start busting it on their
Right.
turf and they start getting pissed.
And then forms a gang war.
Yeah. So, obviously there are reasons for their rules.
Right.
But you find that out during they're all sitting around brainstorming like new ideas for shows on the radio station.
Yeah.
And I think Taro comes up with the idea.
Yeah, he actually does.
Where Taro says, "Oh, what if we do like a prisoner release show where like we announce like which prisoners are getting released and when."
Yep.
And they're all like, "That's a great idea."
Yeah. They like it.
There's a scene where they're just like, "What should we call it?" And they're like, "How about Prisoner Release News?" And everyone's like, "That's such a great name!"
Yeah! More inkling that this is a B-movie!
It's like, what should we call the Alien Invasion movie? Alien Invasion!
Yay! Quite creative.
And they're all so excited about it.
They are. But the good thing is that they're meshing. They're actually creating ideas for this tiny station.
That's what it is. It's like
bonding. It's
all
rapport. It's
all
great.
of them bond. Even Taro is like
even the moron Taro. He's becoming one of them.
He's not a moron. He's kind of a coward.
Well, what is with those scenes though, where he is behind the glass? And he gets this, like, big gold grin, and then he just starts shaking, and he kind of just cowers away.
Like,
is he having an orgasm or what?
Let's not talk about that.
It's just so awkward.
It's so weird.
And they show it multiple times.
I think it's 2 times in the movie.
That's one too many.
So it's just once?
It's at least 3 times.
I don't know, but maybe.
It's just very awkward.
It's weird.
It isn't needed.
It's weird, and I think it was for comedic effect, and I don't understand what's supposed to be.
I don't know.
But whatever.
Yeah. It's kind of cheap.
But yeah, during that scene is when Taro's just like, we could do a show that announces drug prices. And he's just like, our family doesn't do drugs.
Duh.
I think he hits him in the back of the head.
Well, of course he does. As he should.
But no, there's a scene like at the beginning when he's after Taro picks him up and like brings him back and they all kick the shit out of Taro. Taro is like kowtowing to everyone in this movie. Yeah. Literally, like he's forehead to the ground to everyone. Yeah. And there's a scene where Junji and Taro are both sitting together, and he he's just like, are those job search magazines? And he's like, yeah. And then he's like, oh, are you planning on going straight and leaving the family? And he's like, no, it's not like that. And then Junji says, you aren't cut out to be a Yakuza anyway.
Yeah.
And he says it in like a way that doesn't seem to be like discounting him,
No.
or like you're not a man or anything
Right.
like that. It seems more like, no, your temperament isn't right for this.
No, he's too much of a screwball and just loosey-goosey guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
okay, so now back to the Yakuza brother who's found out who's dealing drugs.
yeah.
So a sister calls into Junji's radio.
Oh yeah, someone's sister calls in.
Yep.
And is like,
Kawakari?
whatever.
Yeah.
Well, she's like, hey, my brother is I think he's addicted to speed.
It's some type of opiate.
It was some kind of upper.
Yeah.
And she's just like, I don't know what to do about it. And he's just like, tie him to a bed until he's not dependent anymore.
Yeah. I was waiting for him to do the Father Karras.
Tie him to a bed and throw holy water at him.
Yes. How Christ compels you.
Oh man. Then we also her brother comes in too.
Well, that's when a paper is printed off, and Taro holds it up.
A fax comes in. Yeah.
Yep, a fax. Yep, and then
because whenever they want to communicate with the people in the booth, they always like hold up a sign to the window, and they hold it up, and it says Kawakasu or whatever. It says he's dealing all the drugs in Shinjuku. And,
yes. Yep.
And that's when Junji's like, all right, I need to go have a talk with these. I need to go tell the boss.
Yep.
Because he's a part of our family.
Yes.
And we don't do drugs.
Nope. And so then he goes to the boss, and then the boss goes ape. And he basically says, no, you're really not a part of this family anymore.
Does he, though?
I mean, I don't know if he actually says that, but he insinuates it.
He seems very loosey-goosey on the thing, to me. You know?
I mean, he lets him leave.
Yeah, he lets him go, but I don't know. It's very strange, because the boss is a weird character.
Yeah, I mean,
he's smiling the whole time.
Yeah,
too.
but he's a terrible actor.
He's kind of loosey-goosey through the whole thing.
Yeah.
The boss is a very strange guy.
Yeah. But there's no way that he can keep his...
And because there's a part where they outright ask him, like, are you dealing drugs? And he's like, of course not. It's banned in the Okawa family.
Yeah.
And they're like, okay, go.
Yeah. I don't know. It's
a very strange scene.
Yeah,
but it is what it is.
Yeah.
We find out that Cherry is pregnant.
Yep.
She's 17 and pregnant by the 28-year-old
Yep,
guy.
the DJ.
And he's said that he's going to take responsibility and marry her.
Yep.
And that he's going to quit being a DJ and get a real job.
Yep. Yeah.
And then
So
Junji tells him he's not a real man because he's giving up on his dream.
Yeah, real nice.
Which is hilarious.
Yeah. For this no-name DJ.
Yeah.
Who plays for nobody.
He says, you're just using her to explain away your cowardice.
Right.
And run away from your dream.
Yep. Yeah, that was deep shit.
And then he admits to it and tells him to punch him in the face. And Junji says, no.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean...
And then he leaves.
Yeah, he leaves.
But this is also when we find out after that whatever. Kawakari.
Let's go with it.
He goes to this other Yakuza guy who is working with him,
Yep.
and he's like, kill Junji.
Yep.
Because Junji reported on us. You gotta kill him.
Yep.
And that guy goes, okay. And I think that guy enlists the help of that drug guy, the brother. That's how that worked, right?
Yep. Yep.
But so they go out and plan to kill Junji.
Yep.
And the Yakuza guy pulls out his gun and goes to shoot him, and it clicks, and he realizes that he never loaded his gun.
Yeah. Quality guy. Yeah.
It's marketed as a comedy, but like it doesn't have a ton of really funny parts in it. But it's got like a comedy feeling.
Oh, it does. It kind of has like dry humor.
Yeah.
A lot of times.
Like a lot of the humor is very like dry.
Oh yes. Yeah, very much so.
Yeah.
Or it's supposed to be stupid, kind of like Airplane, where it's like, oh my gosh, this is just dumb.
Yeah. Like it's very subtle humor.
It is. Yeah.
And then Junji keeps going,
Yep.
and he never gets shot and doesn't realize what's happening,
No.
and then
He just walks by in the background.
and then Nabu, he talks about how cool Junji is and how much he looks up to him.
Yeah.
And he walks out the door, and the drug addict kid jumps
Yep.
out and shoots him, and then
Yep.
he's like, "Wait a minute, that's not Junji!" And then he screams and
Yep.
freaks out and runs away.
He runs away, and he's wearing a purple jumpsuit.
He's wearing like this giant baggy purple jumpsuit.
Yeah, jumpsuit, tracksuit.
He's wearing like a purple tracksuit with I think a hoodie or a
something like
jacket,
that, yeah.
a green jacket,
Yeah.
something like that.
Yeah.
Like the craziest outfit.
Yeah.
It's like, what would you not want to wear when shooting someone
Exactly.
to attract attention?
Yep.
Whatever he's wearing.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
And so that happens, and Junji goes over to the radio station, and they're talking about like who's getting out of prison today,
Yeah.
and they like read out a guy's name and what family he's from, and what's happening when he's getting released, and then they're all like, yay!
Yeah.
Like,
Get all excited.
and they're all cheering for him.
Yeah.
And they're like, congratulations, everybody, make sure you welcome him really well when he gets out.
Yeah.
He's like, he's been in prison for 10 years,
Yeah.
so everyone be really good to him and make sure he gets a big welcome when he gets out.
Yeah, that's nice.
And then they get the phone call from Cherry, and she's like, they shot, because she hates Junji.
Yes. Yeah.
She's like, you are not my father, and you don't get to act that way. And he's like, okay.
Yeah, he doesn't care.
He just
doesn't care about anything.
nonchalant with his family. He's
Yeah.
like, I spend time with them, but they hate me.
Yeah.
My daughter hates me.
Yeah. I pay my wife. Here you go.
Yeah, he comes in and gives money to his wife every week.
Yeah.
He spends time with his daughter, but she's like, you're not my dad, and
Right.
Yakuza are scum.
Yeah. She hates everything that he is.
Yeah.
That he stands for.
And when she finds out he's pregnant, and he just goes, baby?
Oh, baby? Like he really cares?
Like, he seems confused, and then he's just like, okay.
Okay. I'll go with it.
He's more upset at that guy for giving up on his
Yeah,
dreams.
100%.
He is about getting his daughter pregnant.
Absolutely, yeah. She's probably still in high school.
Well, that's what I like about it,
Yeah.
though. That he's just like, you know what, it's whatever.
Yeah.
I can't stop this.
Yeah.
But, you know what, I can stop. This guy's giving up on his dreams.
Yes.
And that makes him not a man.
Yes. Yeah. That's the big dilemma.
Yep. Man. That's...
So he shot.
Oh, yeah,
And
he
so...
gets shot, and his daughter's crying, and she's like, it's your fault because you're Yakuza.
Yep.
And he, like, gets off the phone, and he's just like, my son-in-law was just shot by a guy who matches this description, everyone go out and find this guy. Don't kill him. Bring him to me.
Yeah. Yeah, and you'll get 1 million yen.
Oh yeah, he offers 1 million yen to whoever brings him to him.
Yeah.
And everyone loses their mind and hunts this dude down.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's actually a cool scene too.
Yeah,
it's kind of where the action slash kind of, I don't know, it comes into par that it's everybody's looking for him, and it's actually a really cool scene.
Yeah, because it keeps like flashing from person to person.
Yeah.
Because at this point they establish all the Yakuza people listen to his radio.
Yeah.
Because he always talks about Yakuza stuff. Like one of the things is he talks about relationships with all the different families, and at one point there's like violence that breaks out between two of the families, and he announces that some violence is broken out between these two families. If you're a member of this family or this family, then look out for flying bullets.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then at a later scene, they have the heads of those two families come in, and they all work out a truce.
Yeah, that's right. I
on
forgot
the
about
radio
that.
station.
Yeah, yeah, that was cool.
Yeah,
yeah.
It's a very cool idea.
Yeah.
There's a lot of cool stuff in the movie.
Yeah. Yeah, he's kind of like the peacekeeper.
I almost wish the sequel was about the radio station.
I do too.
Yeah.
And the sequel.
I like the sequel.
Yeah.
It's nice.
Yeah.
And I feel like watching the first one, it allows him to grow more as like a family man and all of that.
Right.
Yeah. And I think that's an interesting continued character development for him.
Sure. Absolutely.
Right.
Yeah.
But so they all hunt this guy down, and they find him, and they like gang up on this dude.
Yeah.
And I think they beat him, don't they?
Oh yeah, they kick his ass.
They beat the shit out of him.
Yeah.
And his wife calls him up, and they're like, "Hey, it was just a flesh wound.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
he was shot
call
in the arm.
off all of these people.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like he was shot in the arm.
Yeah.
It's just a flesh wound. So call off all of these people."
Yeah.
And he goes on, and he's like, "I'm sorry, I overreacted. Everyone can stop looking for him.
Yeah.
All that stuff." And then doesn't he say something like Kurakawa, I'm coming for you.
Yeah, he basically says that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because he knows, like, that's who put the,
of
hit
course.
on him.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. And then it shows that he's listening, and he just goes like, "Bye, Junji," and he drives off.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, I don't think he's
just
obviously coming
leaves.
back. Yeah.
And that's the resolution.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And that's pretty much it.
And that's the resolution. And then it cuts to what's probably at least a year later.
Yeah.
I think it's about a year later, because his daughter has the baby.
Yep.
And he's still doing the radio station thing every day.
Yep.
And
he's a regular.
Yeah, he's a regular, and he's loving it, and everyone's happy.
Yeah.
And everyone's alive, and the bad guy just drove away.
Yeah,
and left everyone alone.
He just drove away. He gave up.
I love that resolution. Usually, it's such a weird like change in expectation.
Yeah.
Or, the Ryan Johnson thing.
Yeah. I mean, you don't expect it to end like that.
And where it's just usually it's just like the bad guy does something, and then we hunt down the bad guy and we kill the bad guy.
Right.
But in this one, he's just like, no, he just leaves.
Yeah.
He drives off into the sunset.
Yep.
And leaves everyone alone, and that's the resolution, and I love it.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's such a good resolution for
It is.
For the movie.
It is.
Because it's very much, I think, reflects Junji's growth as like a person in the movie.
Yeah. Yeah, he's no longer this prison badass. He's a changed man.
Yeah. He's a very calmed down man.
Yeah.
He's an older man.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Yeah, he's a wiser man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's kind of what's neat about the movie.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like the movie.
I really like the movie.
Yeah.
I would recommend this movie.
Yeah, it was a hidden gem that we didn't think was going to be shit.
Yeah, I'd say get that 30-day free trial for J-Edge and watch this movie.
Yeah, $3.99, it's worth it.
Oh, 30 days free.
Heck yeah.
The first 30 days are free.
Keep it. It's good stuff.
I love it.
Yeah. It's fun.
Yeah. Watch Mama She Recovers Puppy.
I don't know. We never watched it.
I know.
Maybe not. Maybe never.
Maybe. We should. I feel like we should. J-Edge makes me feel like we should, just by having so much content from it.
Now the series or the movie?
Both? Oh. I think the series comes first, but I don't know. Maybe the movie comes first.
They're all the same date. No,
Not for
different
there.
dates.
I think there's a movie, and then there's a series, and then there's a movie, and then a series.
Oh, okay. Alright.
And then another series.
Maybe Cat Taxi next.
I like Cat Taxi.
Alright.
I think Cat Taxi seems interesting.
Okay. So stay tuned for Cat Taxi.
Always stay tuned for Cat Taxi.
Yes. Well, that's our review of 89.3.
Yeah, it's a very good movie.
Yeah.
About like
a hard man who's changed.
About a man who kind of loses everything but gains something at the end.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean, he went to prison. He gained a sense of.
And he very much lost everything.
He did.
They make a big point of that too, where
Sure.
like he comes out and like all of the Yakuza guys are really excited, but like the Yakuza family that he's in has changed so much.
Yeah. And they even say, this guy's a hard ass.
Yeah.
He came out. I mean, before I can imagine he was an enforcer.
Wasn't there like a quote from the movie where one of them says like, I was hoping he'd get prison raped and it would soften him up.
Yeah. That's literally what they said.
Oh, what a.
And all I mean, obviously that didn't have to work. I mean, just him doing something that he didn't realize that he would like.
Yeah.
And he loved it.
Mm-hmm.
And he's good at it.
Yeah. This is a very good movie.
I liked it.
I'm not going to say rehabilitation because he's the Yakuza guy.
A guy who changed his mindset.
Yeah.
He didn't have to be such an asshole.
It's very much like a old dog new tricks movie.
Yeah, and you can even see him grow throughout the movie. He doesn't kick Taro's ass nearly as much anymore.
Exactly.
He's working with Taro.
Like it's a shockingly good movie as it goes on. Like
he becomes happy.
He gains happiness, and as it goes along, and he like becomes more of like a family man by the end of it.
Yeah.
Like as the movie goes on, we see him spending more and more time with his family.
Yeah, he's becoming humble.
Yeah. I think it's like he's slowing down.
Sure.
He's older. He's
as he should
wiser.
be. He had 15 years in prison.
He feels like everything's left him behind.
Yeah.
But he finds this new thing that'll hold him stable.
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then that's what this hidden gem.
Yeah. This movie is very good.
Yeah, it's a hidden gem.
Yeah.
I mean, you can't find it anywhere besides J-Edge.
Oh yeah, but
it doesn't even exist. I mean, on IMDb, it's coming soon. It's 13 years ago.
It even says 2000.
Maybe it's in 15 years in prison, so it'll come out in 22.
You know what? Maybe it's just waiting for someone to finish it.
Oh yes.
I don't know how IMDb pages get
no
paid.
idea. I have no idea.
Can you just like upload a movie on IMDb?
I don't know.
We should make a page for it if you can.
I mean, it's already made, but obviously you'd have to change the cast.
We should change. Well, the cast might be right, but it has no character names and no pictures.
I don't know.
Ozawa doesn't have a.
Is he even
IMDb.
listed? Is he listed as one? Oh, then we're gonna have to change the actors.
Yeah.
I mean,
I think one of them is literally like Aja, like AJA. I'm not sure.
I don't know.
Like it's a really weird IMDb page. I've never seen anything.
Well, if anybody can do that for us.
Yeah.
Please
Watch this movie and post it on IMDb. It's such a good movie that deserves more recognition.
Yeah, all of our 4 viewers, please. One of
our 13 subscribers.
Yeah, do that, please.
Double digits.
Yeah, we're moving up. All right. Well, thank you for watching.
All right.
I'm Michael.
I'm John. Bye.
Take care.